This is Clarity Empress, the Empress of Clarity, here to bring you a collective energy reading for none other than my Clarity Empress Collective. What's up, and welcome to the Spiritual Lounge. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you ring that bell so you are notified every time I come on. I hope everybody's doing great, and I hope everybody's willing to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, so it is Thursday evening. It is time. It is time for these live donation readings. We're going to get the pin comment, the moderators, and everybody together in the building. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Yeah. Nope. Wrong person. Wrong person. Shoot. Oh, there she is. There we go. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get... Oh, one more person. Y'all ready to get these readings? Don't raise your hands all at once. Don't pay me no mind either. So yeah, meltdown. Oh, what? All right, so what's up? Peace Tuesday. How you doing this evening? How are you, dear sister? How was work? How's life? How's the children? Thank you for the blessings back at you. How is everybody? No, that's not what I thought it was. What's good? Peace, peace, peace. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Sis, did you finish that video? Need your opinion if I should play it tonight or wait till the meet and greet. I want to do it the meet and greet, but I don't have to. So what did you let me know what you think? If you heard it all. If you didn't hear it all and you don't have that opinion yet, then I'll wait. Get situated. Get ready to get these readings. Live donation readings tonight. If you're interested, follow the pinned comment and we will get you set up. Yeah. DDT meltdown. All right, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for coming. Public service announcement. We will be having or hosting a meet and greet Saturday night. Probably around this time. It would be ideal. So it would be 9 o'clock, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will present a link to anyone who expresses interest, but the only way to do that is you have to email me. The email address is in the description box below. If you can't find it in this video because we're live, I mean, you should be able to, but for whatever reason you can't go to any of my videos and the email address is there. It is clarityempress@gmail.com. All right. And once I can verify that you are in fact a subscriber, then you can be invited to the meet and greet. It's not just public. It's definitely not public. Okay. In the comment. Okay, so then we won't do that tonight. Because I need a second opinion, thoughts on it. Actually a discussion. Because it was a really good one. And I prefer that this time, So we can unpack that later. Let me start off with the collective. If anybody wants a reading, they may you know, address it. Turn on my heater. So how was your days? How was your days? Tell me about your day. I'll be reading the comments soon. So, to explain the download, that was earlier today. Somebody said that to me, and I laughed so hard. Spirit said, "That's it. That's the title. That's it." I was like, "Okay, okay, Spirit." So, a thief thieves twice in the same house, or thieves. Yeah, thieves twice in the same house. Let me make sure I'm saying this right, because I feel like I keep wanting to say it wrong. Let me find it. Where is it? Oh, hold on. Live. Bear with me. I'm on computer. I'm on phone. I'm on everything. A thief thieves twice in the same house. Right? Is that all it was? Hold on. Yes. Okay. A thief thieves in the same house twice. I gotta say it right because it has a certain twang to it. A thief thieves in the same house twice. And you know what it means is simply if they did it before, they're gonna do it again. You know what I'm saying? Now that's not every circumstance and every situation, but um typically when somebody performs a heinous act against you or disrespectful act against you and you let that shit slide, no, it's not a thief feeds in the same house twice. A thief thieves in the same house twice. That's what he said to me. So, what's up, Bite? Um, yeah. So basically, like I said, it means if they did it before, they'll do it again. Period. Period. And it's basically because if you let somebody disrespect you 9 times out of 10, they're gonna take that opportunity to do it again. Think about the people you cycle with. You know what I mean? They done did it too many times. You can't excuse it no more. They thieved in the same house twice. You know what I'm saying? So um yeah, it's kind of deep, that concept, because when you have empathy or you're empathetic or you're empathic, a lot of times you have compassion enough to give people multiple opportunities to get it right. You know, you're not looking for them to get it wrong. You want to give them the opportunity to get it right. But the problem is that person who slighted you or did whatever and never really, let's just say they didn't fully take accountability, right? They're more than likely they're going to do it again. And if they've done it more than once, the problem is you got to stop giving them a chance to do it again, right? At some point in time, you have to stop the cycle. And that's what the readings have been about lately, is stopping the cycle. Cutting them cords. Spirit and brought that out 2 nights in a row. Cut the cords. You know what I'm saying? Let go of energy vampires, people who can't get right. Y'all gonna like that video I got. If I do it on the meet and greet on Saturday evening, y'all will enjoy it. But you gotta have to email me in order for me to send you the link. And you gotta be a subscriber on the channel. Can't leave that part out. And then the thumbnail says, I live by 3 simple rules. Love needs action, trust needs proof, and sorry needs change. I need to make a t-shirt out of that, because that's how I feel. That's how I feel about life in general. Love needs action, trust needs proof, and sorry needs change. Okay? So this person come around telling you they sorry for the first time, and they do it again, how can you trust them? And they're going to have to prove it, period. All right, Spirit. Let's get this message. I feel like I want to start with these tea leaf, but that's because it's in my hand. Oh, I know what I want. I know what I want. Yeah, I keep my decks that got boxes and boxes because that just preserves them. So bear with me. Some people like bags. I don't like bags. I feel like bags can damage the cards. You know what I mean? All right, Spirit. Give me a message. Now, this message is going to be clearly on the collective. It's clearly about somebody who thieved at least once in your house. Okay? Not technically in your house, but with you. You know? Because your home is you. You are your home. So, anyway, this is somebody that took some type of leeway, advantage, whatever, with you. All right, Spirit, give me a message for the collective. What they need to know. Love. What it say? Love needs action. Tell me more, Spirit. Relationships. Yeah. Tell me more about this person. One at a time. Okay, happiness. Uh-oh. Tell me more. Okay. 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 That's that action, that perseverance. That's that action they need to be about. Tell me more. Uh-oh, what's that? And judgment. Okay. And that's the proof, that judgment. Imbalance. Wow. This is great energy, to be honest with you. We got love represented. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. We got relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my highest good or higher good. We got happiness. I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. We got, that's what next. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Now, this being a challenge and a lesson means that somebody needs to persevere. I feel like this energy kind of matches a little bit of that video I was telling y'all about. And then judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique paths and challenges. All right. And then what? At the bottom of the deck, trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. All right. So listen. Love needs action. Trust needs proof. And sorry needs change. So there's somebody who was in a sorry state, and I mean trifling with you, okay? They need to change. Period. 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 They can't come to you with the can you accept my apology? There's no change, there's no apology. Like it means nothing. Literally nothing. It is just words. Keep that in mind, collective, because we got a lot of sorry people. Hey, what's up, Queen Soul? How you doing, sis? Peace and blessings to you. We got a lot of sorry people out there these days. Everybody's sorry. Everybody's sorry for this, and I'm sorry for that. But did they change anything? So what does that sorry mean? Nothing. It's words. It sounds nice. It sounds nice. May even sound a little comforting. At the moment. You might appreciate that little bit of effort, but that's not enough. Sorry does not automatically mean re-entry into your life. If you have standards and or boundaries and requirements, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about the video because it's really on my mind, but I want to discuss it first. So it talks about avoidance, people who are avoided in relationships. It talked about why they are avoided in their relationships and what you should do about it. So it came in my feed. I was set to be angry and pissed about it. I was set to be pissed. But the video turned out to explain a lot. It broke down how avoidance, what they're thinking. Um, when you think that they're ignoring you or they're going silent on you, um, and what that really means. And it talked about how, many of them may have come from emotion backgrounds where their emotions, it was a war zone, right? So they weren't allowed to be emotional. So they don't know how to handle emotions. They might even see you cry, he mentioned, and then he said either freeze up, what did he say? Freeze up, might even walk away. Um, like their response is not natural, put it that way. But it's natural for them because any sign of vulnerability um triggers them, right? So a lot of times when we read in tarot, right, we're trying to unpack with you what happened to this person. Why have they moved on or seemingly moved on, but you feel them in your energy. They won't let you really go. They don't want to give closure because to have you not be in their life would be, how did he put it? Damn, I can't think of the word he used, but let's just say a tragedy, right? That's not the word he used though. But to have you in their life would be too consuming, right? So this person has to have you at just arm's length, right? So you don't get to see the love in action. You see distance. You don't get to see you're not able to trust them because they won't prove it. And even if they're sorry, they won't change because change is too hard for them. That is what's going on a lot of times when we're unpacking, when we're breaking these things down in the cards. But we're not, like, we're doing it in layman's terms, but there's a lot of psychology behind it. You know, people don't seem to understand that your upbringing means a lot as far as what shapes your character. Also, not just your upbringing, but your relationships and what you got out of that, whether it was pain or pleasure or a balance of both, right? And, there are some people who don't get that natural love, so then they can't respond to natural love. They want it, they even admire that you are able to give it. They have a certain reverence for you, but to receive it feels smothering. To receive it feels like a loss of control, you know and when they have you at a arm's length, or they breadcrumb you and then disappear from you, it's their way of controlling what they feel is the love that they can handle. Okay, now the problem is the problem is them doing that is actually causing them to lose that very same love that they desire. Okay, because that in and out, that cycling, that back and forth, that infraction, but not really taking accountability, causes a person who is coming from a genuine place to build up walls, boundaries, block them out. Because what who's doing that? That's not fair. Oh, okay, hi Cheryl, excuse me, Weiss, nice to meet you. Welcome to the channel. So, we when you are the empathic one, it is up to you to learn how to observe, how to control your emotions as much as you possibly can, but still have compassion. He said, one of the things is, if you cry in front of an avoidant person, it's nothing wrong with expressing your emotion, and don't ever see that as a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. They see it that way. You have to see it that way too. It wasn't you pushed them away because you cried, or you were, a bit upset with the actions that they took towards you. It's not that. You're human and you felt safe enough to let your emotions out, whereas the avoidant does not. and they don't even know how. Okay. So, when it comes to avoidance, they must take accountability for their actions in order for anything ever to work for them, whether it's with you or somebody else. Like, it's never going to last with that behavior. It's never going to last if they can't trust, if they can't learn what vulnerability is, they can't surrender some sort of control. Because to love somebody unconditionally is not to control them, it's not to smother them. It's not to hold them in place. It's none of that. But if they don't give themselves an opportunity to express and or feel love, then they will constantly avoid it and damage those people that within their orbit who want to offer it. Like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to hold love in any form by breadcrumbing, manipulating, um, ghosting, coming back when you're ready, temperature testing, doing all of those things. I just, the video was so edifying for me because what he broke down, I thought he was going to say, I really thought the video was really about telling people how to make the avoidant comfortable. And he was like, no, it's showing them that you're strong enough to live without whatever control tactics they tried. Because the thing is, they want to know if you have them on your mind. They want to know that they could play games, and still have you. They want to test you to see how far you will let them go, if you will accept them even with all their flaws. Not understanding that flaws don't mean that you can't change them. You understand? They can, and I don't mean you change them, they need to change themselves. If they have flaws, the best thing you could do is acknowledge your flaws and then work on them. You may not get it perfectly right, but the goal is that to be a better person. We all are supposed to change and grow, right? You, them, whoever. But if staying the same and doing the same things over and over again is what appeases this person, 9 times out of 10, if you are coming from unconditional love standpoint with them, you're going to move on. And he basically said, eventually you will pay them dust. You will nothing them. They will be irrelevant to your life because they have shown you that they cannot put action to their love. They cannot be trustworthy because you cannot emotionally feel safe with them. And their sorries more than likely will mean nothing if they've repeated behavior and cycles with you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I feel like I summarized a lot of what he said, but I felt the video was, I don't know. The universe gives me stuff, it seemed like right on time. And I felt like I didn't know I needed that video, but it edified my stance with specific individuals. And I mean individuals, because a lot of people go through this, that have played in my energy, lingered in my energy, but did not want to take accountability, did not want to change, did not want to show love, did not want to reciprocate, was not seeking balance with me, and would be scared of what I had to say, or what I thought about my opinion. I don't know what they were scared of, be honest. Not like I'm trying to fight anybody, but they run. And that's why they said, in the video he talked about, when you stop chasing and you just observe and you realize, and you observe from a standpoint of emotional detachment, because you learn and you understand that the reason why they act the way they are, and then the things that they do, is not because of you, it's because of who they are. When you get to the point where your self-worth is so intact that you realize, and you can even self-evaluate, because that's what I tend to do in any relationship. I do my best to, like, if something does not go right in the relationship, I like to ponder. Sometimes I run it past a friend or so, but I ponder, what could I have done differently? Did I intend to trigger this person or hurt this person? No, I didn't do that, or I did, or whatever. right? I look at it like, well, how could I have done better? And when I cannot find the answer, whether I express it to a friend or I run it past myself, whatever. If I can't find, I figure a lot of times out of 10 is the other person. Now, if I have that same problem though with multiple people, then 9 times out of 10, I'm the common denominator. And that's not really been my issue personally. But I have clients where that is the issue, right? So now when we know that we keep doing a thing or inviting the same type of energy in our lives, then we got to look at ourselves, right? Well, we should always be looking at ourselves, but we don't necessarily have to blame ourselves. We got to look at it objectively. You get what I'm saying? No communication. Uh, and you're to be homeless. Oh no. Cheryl, no, 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 baby girl. So listen. All right. So then the other thing is it talked about you being you not requiring this person being so this person may take love, unconditional love, as attachment and codependency when if you're coming from an unconditional love space, you're not trying to be codependent on the person. So if you find yourself in a position of codependency, the best thing you could do is seek help. And that seek help. Like, I don't know where you are in the world, but for us, where I'm at, we go to there's shelters. There are agencies like Catholic Charities here that take your case on and try to help you find housing. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So, you know, hold on, y'all. You gotta seek help. You've got to. And you have friends. Like if you were isolated by this individual, maybe let's just say they there's a versions of isolation that, I find very interesting, but people experience this in various degrees where a person in your life could make you self isolate, meaning you will, let's just say you go out and have fun. And when you every time you come back smiling and having a good time, they do something to ruin that smile. It makes you think twice about going the next time because every time you come home after having a good time, they're gonna do something to remind you why you shouldn't be smiling because they weren't the ones that made you smile. You get what I'm saying? So they'll cause you to self isolate, but they can also say, "I never told you to go out. I never stopped you from this, and I never stopped you from that." So you got to really self evaluate. And sometimes it makes you push people away that want to be in your life. So seek help. Seek help from those that are genuine and will be willing to support. So um this days the only thing we can do is ask for support. There might even be group home situations that would be helpful at a temporary basis until you can get on your feet. I don't, like I said, I don't know where you are in the world, and I really don't know all resources available. I know it's different for everybody. 4,000. Oh my gosh, yes, you need to seek help. You know, uh, the news, the news here, they have back in the days to be Help Me Howard. Now they got Seven on Your Side. So what they'll do is you call into the news station, tell them what your story is, and they may or may not find resources for you and help you get situated all for a do good story. So if you have a story, maybe you need to report the real estate agency, get your 4,000 back and find housing. Do what you must. No stone unturned. Be persevere. Here's the thing. in here, this is my challenge and lessons position, is perseverance. I know I can do whatever I put my mind to. So you just have to keep persevering, and it may be tough, but ask for help. Mm. And you gotta trust. You're welcome. Oh, listen. All right. As far as support, Cheryl, go into go on my channel, right? And in the about this channel section is a link that says link bio, LNK bio. That's my link. It has a whole bunch of my links on my social media, but on that, there is one that says mental health. Well, what I found when I went to the link I attached it to is that there was so much more within that link. Go there. Go seek some support in there. There's all kind of, what do they need, and they can send you in the direction you need to go in. And I believe they even break it down by state. I don't know if it's international, but go on that link and it might be helpful. You are welcome. I hope everything works out for you. All right, y'all, I'm going to continue to read. So this, like I said, is good energy. Um, Now I can't say that this is your person. You have to take it how it resonates. Everybody situation different. But love in the past energy is here. Relationships. Now maybe it could be your love that was here. But I see happiness, I see perseverance, I see judgment. Judgment is giving me boundaries, right? It's giving me, all right, I know that that's you and this is me, right? And we may be very different. So maybe we work out, maybe we don't. But we respecting differences. You get what I'm saying? So it says, I understand that everyone has their own unique paths and challenges. So, excuse me. Yeah, your person here, I feel like this is just telling me what y'all need, what the energy is. There's a need for balance, there's a need for trust. Ooh, thank you. Bring in balance. It says you're putting too much energy into something, creating lack somewhere else. Take action now to correct the situation or risk further imbalance, which could lead to undesirable results. So we got balance. This is verifying balance. So you need to balance the scales. What are you doing too much of? What are you putting too much energy in? Now it's time to break. It's time to break whatever that is. Oop, another card popping. Speak your truth. You stay silent too long. I'm sorry, long enough. Speak up and stand your ground and state your perspectives. You will rise to a higher vibration when you let your voices. Yep, sorry, voices, Lord. Voice be heard. So it's time to speak your piece. And also, letting your voice be heard also means seeking help, asking people, telling people what you need, not assuming that people can read your mind, but actually saying, listen, I need this. Can you help me with that? You know what I mean? Tell me more, Spirit. Soar, you're being asked to stop dimming your own light. Period. It is time for you to come out of the shadows and let your authentic self. Sorry about that, y'all. Hold on, let me send this to my girl so she know what's on. Hold on. All right. Inner peace. Wow. You are letting outside circumstances create turmoil and frustration within you. Remember, you always have the power to choose your response. Let inner peace attract a higher vibrational outcome for you. Listen, and that's in your relationship. So one of the things that video the guy said, he said the avoidant person, they remember and know exactly what they have done or what exactly was going on with you. He said they file you everything they notice about you away in this like imperative information file. I think it was a different word he used, right? And it's like they know when you the way you crinkle your nose when you're frustrated. They know the exact moment you stop talking to them. They know the exact moment you pulled away from whatever they were doing. And a lot of times they ruminate over why now? Why this time? What did I do? What could we, you know what I mean? They start to ruminate over that. That silence is not necessarily, they say, um, they have forgotten. And he said they will frame forgetfulness. They will forget, your birthday and act as if they didn't remember, or they will uh forget that you like this particular order at the local coffee store, coffee place, or whatever. But yet, all of a sudden, one day they decide to get you exactly what you're looking for, or what you would buy, right? You keeping score too, because you understand where this person is coming from, right? Or that they remember everything. He said it's no need to browbeat them, shame them, admonish them for those things. It's just in order for you to have clear and direct communication with them, you have to tell them, like, yes, you already know, I already know. And when you're ready to come clean and talk about it, we could talk about it. I was like, I know that's right. Because it doesn't leave room for, well, you're pointing a finger and you're going through the long texts and you're pointing in this and pointing. No, 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 no. You and I both know. We both know what it is. We're not confused. I'm not confused. So you're not going to confuse me. You could pretend to be confused, but you're not, right? So Spirit is basically saying, you let them know where you stand, and either they rise to the occasion or they don't. He said it'll be once you get to that point where you saying that to this person, he said it'll be a pivotal point where either the relationship will change and grow, or it will die. And you will know that it will die because if they take no action, because love requires action, doesn't it? It dies. And they do become irrelevant. He said, and that irrelevance is one of their biggest fears, but it is what it is. Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me about perseverance specifically, please. Oop, what is that? Gratitude. It says there is always something to be grateful for, even in the darkest of situations. Now is the time to recognize what is going well in your life and what you are thankful for. And then whatever you're thankful for, keep pursuing that. Persevere on that. Tell me more about judgment, Spirit. Discovery. New ideas, new people or opportunities may be coming your way. While there's still work to do to reach your goal, you may discover new strengths and passions along the way. So look, I do feel like this. When you choose to pull back your energy from situations that drain it, breadcrumb you, just suck the life out of you or whatever, manipulate you. It's like you signal to the universe, I'm ready for something better. Because I'm no longer doing that thing that sucked me dry. And I honestly feel like it's like the sun comes out. It's hard to explain, but it's a feeling you get when you decide, like, I'm over that. I'm done with it. Everything starts to get clearer. So your clarity is just on 1,000. Opportunities, money, everything starts to flow. It's like you took the tap off, because you might have been, you never see a hose, and if you bend the hose, you close the water flow, right? You pinch it so it stops the water, backs the water up from flowing. Um, but it's almost, and it starts to back up in that hole, right? So then when you decide, okay, I'm ready to release the flow of life, I'm going to surrender, I'm going to stop trying to control this situation, and now I'm going to let that go. So you open up the water, you open up the flow of love toward you, the abundance toward you. everything starts to change when you stop trying to hold on to shit that you don't need to hold on to. It changes everything. Um, the more we discuss cutting cords, the more in the background, I can't tell y'all everything that go on in my life, but the more money is flowing my direction. People are reaching out to me. There's certain things I'm supposed to have done by now. I have not done. But it's almost like the universe is like, well, you've done enough. Let me show you what you can do. Since you cut that cord and since you close that tap off, let's release all of this other stuff toward you. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm a flow with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. You get what I'm saying? So when we learn how to surrender control, when we learn to release, everything gets better. It does. I can't explain it. You got to try it in order to feel what I'm talking about. Bottom of the deck. Oh, shit. Release. You're being asked to release any toxic people or situations from your life. Spirit is not playing, okay? You deserve to be free of all drama, and this is the first step to achieving that. What did I just say? You get what I'm saying? Spirit is no joke. Mm, 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 mm. Whatever you holding on to, release it, okay? Sometimes you got to release some things that you wanted so badly, or you just pictured it a certain way and you just knew it got to be that way, and it just won't work out. Let that shit go. Let it go. It don't matter what it is, who it is. Let it the fuck go. Be free. Be free from it. If it was meant for you, it'll come back to you. It will show up in its full self, and it will be what it needs to be for you. Okay? I'm seeing flashes on my screen. Cherry, I got you. I don't know. I saw something else flash on my screen, but I can't look at it. But and I got you after this. So, I'm telling you, when you learn, so now the avoidance we have to remember this part. Even if we release them, does not automatically mean that they will be on your timeline, that they will rise to the occasion, that they will show up in their best selves and they will come towards you or whatever. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you release the thought of the outcome or the anticipated or the expectation, that the little nuances they do. He mentioned liking your stories and posts that you might have taken for granted, that's just an anomaly, not that big a deal. No, it's their way of showing their face in your life but not quite being in your life. He said, release it. And I can't say I don't. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. You got to release them and whatever hold they may have had in your life. Like, let it all out, girl. Let it go. Just let it go. One day, what you're mirroring to them is that you have self-worth. And it's not an admonishment of them. It's just, if you can't meet me where I'm at, if you can't try, if you can't do better, if you can't be trustworthy, just like the thumbnail, if you can't show me love back, and your version of love is so limited that I will only get glimpses of you, but I cannot uh, share with you, because you really can't share with an individual like that. All they'll do is drain you and then disappear, right? So if you cannot share, if there's no balance, which your spirit is showing, there has to be balance in here. So it's giving justice energy here. If there is no justice and there's no balance, then what do we have? We don't really have anything. We're not going to have a one-sided anything, right? That's not good for anybody. That's not healthy to be in a one-sided connection. So you got to think about what you really want and pursue that. Pursue that. What you want out of life in general. Go for that. Open yourself up to love. Keep love first. Keep love first in your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody close your heart because they're not open. Don't let nobody close you up because they're not ready. They can't give to the situation because, they live in a fearful state of mind. That's draining and exhausting. I can't even. It's draining and exhausting. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story, and this is in the Bible, I believe. I know it's also folklore and many cultures, but I've been feeling led to tell this story. I'm not sure it resonates tonight, but I'm feeling it again, so I'm going to just say the story. Some of y'all may have heard it before, but it is the epitome of releasing and surrendering control in a way that most people don't really think of, I would say. But many years ago, a friend of mine and I were talking about a situation, and I was like, wow, that truly resonates. So the story goes, there's a great King Solomon. Now, King Solomon was in the Bible. He was, and I think he has a chapter, right, of the Bible, King Solomon. And he was a king that sought wisdom. Now, there's a whole backstory on him we can unpack in a live. Now, again, if you're interested in the meet and greet, please make sure you email me by tomorrow so I can send y'all the link. The link is being prepared by one of our members, and I need to be able to give her a proper count so that she can send out the link. But anyway, King Solomon was raised to have wisdom and understanding. He didn't rule from a how much wealth I can accumulate. He ruled from a place of how can I take care of my people. And he was favored by God because of that. The way I understand it. Okay, I'm telling y'all from my version of how I understand it. So he was presented with many challenges because he was considered to be a very wise ruler. Okay, so people brought all kind of cases toward him. And one particular day, um, there were two women who were widowers of the same man. So, back then there was polygamy. So people married, multiple women. The husband died, but two women had birth around the same time, an infant son. And there was one woman, she was not so nice. She was actually very unkind. And then the other one was a very sweet and nurturing mother. Well, one of the children died. And of course, back then, in biblical times, there was no DNA. Both women claimed the baby that was still alive. And the matter was brought before the king. Somebody brought the two women and the child before the king, told them the story about everything, and then the king deliberated. He thought he had used judgment. And he thought and he said, okay, I have the answer. He said, what we will do is we'll have the executioner use their axe to split the baby in half. And then you take half and you take half, as he spoke to the mother. So the not so nice mother said, all right, I'm fine with that. No problem. Thanks. And the mother, who was the sweet mother, said, absolutely not. Then let her have him. She can have him. She said, I'd rather keep my child alive than to give my child up to some, to be split in half. Like, what am I going to do with a half of that baby, right? So King Solomon determined at that moment who was the real mother to the child. And it was the one that was willing to surrender control to keep the child alive versus the one that would have split the child in death. Think about that when you think about these situations. Like, what are you willing to surrender control? Let it live. Let it live somewhere else. Let it dwell elsewhere, right? Let it thrive. Maybe, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not, it's not. But let go. Let go. And you will be judged accordingly. I feel like that too. Because, if you believe in judgment day and you believe in spirit judging you, because they do, I feel like our spirit guides judge us all the time. They will see your heart because they know you are willing to put yourself first and release anything that's not good for you, but also release anything that you can't control it. You gotta release it. Either way, we gotta worry. We not worry. We got to wrestle with and then release our control issues over certain situations. Let things live that need to live. No, that's not the email address, sis. Hold on. That's not it. Remember, it's in the description box below, and it's clarityempress@gmail.com. So I'm just gonna remove that. It's the clarityempress at gmail.com. All right. So that was a message. We gotta release our control. We gotta untap. We gotta let the tap out. You know what I'm saying? We got the things that we hold in is gonna build pressure. So we gotta release the pressure so money and wealth and abundance and happiness and love can flow to us easily if we could stop, trying to control situations that are out of our, we can't control people. We can't even control our relationships. We can only control ourselves. You get me? Y'all get me? All right, y'all. So this is for you, Black Cherry. All right. You wanted a general, sis? That's what you wanted. Thank you, darling. Thank you, my dear. Okay. All right, Spirit, give me a message for. Give me a message for Black Cherry. What she need to know. More. Mm. Mm. More. Oh, okay. Deck, pay attention. All right. Part of this, I already feel like you do, but he says connect to intuition. Repeating patterns are keeping you from making a new choice in this situation. Break free from the old ways of thinking. Ask for new insight. I already feel like you do that because the overall energy here is to also pay attention. We discussed that, right? So it says you're being asked to pay extra close attention to the signs you're being given, both the subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed. These signs will help you see a best move forward in order to live your best life. Let me tell you something about signs, and I had to tell you this today. So I didn't say anything to you earlier when we spoke, but I kept seeing these signs, and I knew something was going to happen that did happen. I'll explain that to you later. But Spirit kept niggling in my ear, like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. And I was like, we'll see. And it happened. That's all I'm going to say. I'll tell you later. It says you're being asked to protect yourself and your energy. It's okay to want to give the up. It's okay to want to give to others, which you do effortlessly. It is important, though, that you set healthy boundaries with your energy before doing so. Now is the time to get some protection in place. What I keep telling you, Miss Generous, what I keep telling you, okay, that spirit is reminding you, I told you. I told you it's time to pay attention and protect yourself, okay? All right. And detach. You're being asked to detach from something you've been holding on to. When we hold on too tightly to the desired outcome, everything I just said in the collective, It restricts the flow. Literally everything I just said in the collective. Trust that the outcome will work out and let go of your attachment to it. Oh my God. So that part of the message was definitely for you. I don't know what you're holding on to, but let it go. Caring connection. A new supportive relationship is on the horizon. It might be a kindred spirit or possibly even romance. It could be someone new or the deepening of an existing relationship. Open your heart to this new connection. All right. But be careful of the recycle bin. That's all I'm saying. Be careful with them recycle bins. And it says release judgment. Holding on to judgment, whether of yourself or others, only clouds your vision. Release it and see the world and your path with clearer eyes. You got to let go of some of that pain, that hurt. And you know what it is. That pain and that hurt from them experiences do not dictate every situation. Okay? Hold on, y'all. I'm not done. I don't know about the outcome, but I know you need to release that pain. I do. You know, when we make statements like everybody is this and everybody is that, it is a sign that we're holding on to the pain that we are projecting onto everything that might look like that, right? So like, I don't know if you've seen that lady Priscilla. I don't know her last name. I don't know if it was relevant anyway. But there's a lady named Priscilla who's like she calls herself some type of coaching. She's always coaching women. And when she coaches them, she's every man is da 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 da. Every man ain't this. And all men do that. And all men. And I'm thinking, sis, who hurt you? Somebody had to hurt you for every man to be only about this. It's almost like we're talking about two different species that we don't procreate. Now she don't, because she is I believe, yeah, she's a gay woman. So her focus is never going to be on procreating with a man because she's a gay woman, right? The queen maker. There you go. But I don't believe that every man, I have proof. So for me, that's never going to be my experience, that every man is this and every man is that. Now, if I was so butt hurt, let's just say over my own father, then I would, and I didn't heal enough, I would agree with her based on that experience alone. But I think it's unfair to pack everybody in the same bag and say and call them everybody the same. She has a child. Yeah, she got a child, but apparently she was hurt by some man. Hurt so bad that every man is this way. And if she could sway every woman to be with a woman, that's what it sounds like she would do. And a lot of times she contradicts herself, and this woman is full of control. If you just observe her, she's really like she's very similar to Kevin Samuels in the judgmental area. You know, not that she yeah, she's just very similar, not exact like him. It's hard. It's hard. It's the ego I'm getting from her. We have to be careful when we project that everybody is going to be this. No, everybody is not going to be that. If I based my current friendships on the friendships that I had in the past, I wouldn't have no friend. Okay. I believe everybody's different. Everybody's unique and everybody can have an opportunity. Now, if they fuck it up, that's on them. Okay. I gave them my opportunity. But if I base all my friendship and all my relationships on anything I had in the past, I wouldn't have none. I couldn't do it because this person hurt me so bad that I would be scarred for life. You know what I'm saying? So we got to release some pain. We got to let some things go. And we got to not project those things onto others because people can surprise you. Hey, little girl, you came to see me? Hey, mamash. Hi. How you doing? What's up? Hey. Say hi to the people. Say hi, boo. So, Giggles. Hi. How are you? Long time no see. All right. So, connected to intuition. Yeah. So, you have not, you're not, okay. Okay. This is past energy. The spirit said at times you have been at odds with your intuition. Now, only I feel like only you would know what that feels like, or you would know if you reflect on a situation when you should have trusted your gut and you didn't go with it, right? You would know what that is. Like I don't, I'm not you, so I don't know. I don't even have an instance I can say, oh, remember, all I can say is you can tell. I know for me, when I'm in situations and I do not follow my intuition, I pay for that shit. Okay. Spirit will show me damn near instantly, like, bitch, didn't I tell you to go that way? And you didn't listen? I'll be like, damn it, I should have went that way. I heard you say it, but I wanted to do it my way. Yeah, sometimes it's as little as make that left turn and go right. And then sometimes I'll listen to spirit, and then I'll look in my rear view and I'll see like, oh my gosh, I just missed da 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 da, or I slowed down because of blah blah blah. Spirit will tell you. So sometimes we miss the signs and I end up in some an unbalanced situation. Put it that way. Tell me more, spirit. I know we got Knight of Cups in reverse. So this is where you got to protect yourself from and your energy. Somebody who will drain your energy. Somebody's fickle. Somebody's moody. I feel like this could be feminine energy too. So take it how it resonates. It doesn't have to be a masculine because it's a masculine in the picture. It's just somebody that will just take your energy. They're not in a good mood and they want to suck you dry because they want your time and your attention and they're not right. I think we talked about an individual like that for you today. So I will say for that in particular, it could apply directly to her, but it could be others too. All right. Tell me more about detach. Oh, okay. So with the detach and the moon, that means in the hidden energy, you're learning. You're showing that you are aware of your emotions. You're aware of what pulls at you, what illusions and delusions. Because when the moon is in reverse, it clears up what you've emotionally sorry, been attached to. Things that maybe you wanted something to be a certain way and it's not. And the moon in upright is like making you hold on to something, but in reverse it's like, oh, I see what it is now. It's clearer to me now. So that's where you can detach. That's in the hidden energy. So you're doing that, but that doesn't mean that people around you understand that you're doing that, right? Because people hold on to certain sets of ideas about us, about people, right? And then they think, oh, okay, this person, we change and we evolve all the time. I'm not the same person I was yesterday, a year ago, 2 years, five, whatever. I am not the same person. Try me. You would know. Okay. I will evolve. Some people think I don't have an ear for them. I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't talk to them. I sure would. Have a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? Won't be hurtful, painful, none of that. But people hold on to what they think about you from the past. If they got cussed and fussed out from you in the past, they think you still got that, you're on that type energy. But you're detaching from those emotions that are keeping you in that energy where you used to pay the dust. Now you're not paying. No, I'm sorry. When you used to pay them mind, now you paying people dust, and they don't understand that unbothered energy. But spirits got you detaching slowly. I'm sorry, in the hidden energy, it's not obvious to others because they still remember the old you. You know what I'm saying? Tell me more, spirit. Four cups in reverse. I feel like the challenge is feeling like you don't want to miss out on something. Um, You're also uncertain if you're going to have it. That's the challenge and the lesson, to have that caring connection. Spirit said, just once you start to detach and you let that love flow properly and you put your energy where it should go, then your love will come. The love you need, the love you require, the love that will support you, the love you can trust, that comes with that proof, that comes with that action. It will be different. It will be a change. Okay? Tell me more. Okay, why is this doing it? Hold on. All right, tell me more, Spirit. Likely outcome. And then here we go, judgment again. So you will be having a rebirth. What will you sacrifice to have a rebirth? What will you release of yourself that you no longer need? You know what I'm saying? What will you let go of? That's the likely outcome. Because you see, there's a release here. It is a release. So the judgment is clarifying judgment. You have to release some things. You have to release some of that pain. I feel. And let's see, pay attention. Yep. And then you have a new opportunity to do something different. It could be it could be pay attention to the kids. I thought it's not that you don't. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't. But there's some type of signs, subtle signs that'll teach to help you best move forward in order to give your life. So it's something. It might be something with the kids because that's Page of Cups. Okay, listen to their heart. Use your intuition. Somebody might be trying to tell you something in a subtle way. I'm getting Dion. And that question that was asked earlier today. You take it how it resonates, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Listen to that question. Listen to that question. Listen to that question. Yeah. All right. I'm getting out of this energy, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Because I heard the question, so I know. And now that I now Spirit like gave me some heavy energy with that question that seemingly felt like other questions, but that was deeper than that. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that for now. But you know, you gotta address that, and I think you need to ask a direct question about that because that curiosity about that leads to some other things, and you don't want to be caught blindsided about that. So if your intuition been going off and your spidey sense has been tingling when it comes to that, please address that ASAPington. Like, you know, if they're not asleep, talk to them tonight. You get what I'm saying? Don't let that go. Like, what you mean by that? What are you thinking? Why is that on your mind? Because, yeah, you got my spidey senses up and I need to check in. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, take it how it resonate. If it don't resonate, don't take it. But I appreciate y'all coming to the channel tonight. Thank you for allowing me to read your energy. And I hope that the collective energy was helpful. Again, in my about this channel, there is linked bio information. And you'll see a link that says mental health, right? You could click on that link. It'll give you SAMHSA information. But that web page, unless they changed it, was very extensive for the United States. And I don't know if there's international numbers on there. I can't speak to that. It was so much information on there. So if you're looking for help and you're looking for support, that's a resource, you know, whether it's mental health or others. There's also in the United States and probably abroad, Catholic charities. Catholic charities, big on mental health. Okay, really big on mental health. So much so that if you call in for a service, like some other support, the first thing they do is asking you about your mental health. You know, do you want a counselor? And I'm thinking, geez, I had called them for something and I couldn't even get to what I wanted to talk to them about because they kept trying to give me a caseworker. And I'm like, all right, if I was having a mental challenge, this would be great. But right now, I need to ask another question. Then I was looking for tenants. So I put an ad um, in these spaces for tenants. And I got approached by like 2 or 3 caseworkers that brought their clients to me, and they were getting wraparound services for support. So they were not only getting a housing voucher through Catholic Charities for placement, but they were also getting mental health services. They were getting daycare services. I don't know if they did financial assistance or they were just a caseworker that helped them find, like, I guess, food stamps and things like that, EBT or whatever. But they helped source things to stabilize that person, which I was like, damn, I didn't know y'all did all of that. That was awesome. But it's a housing voucher that they offer, or they did offer. I don't know if that's still available anymore. I heard recently that all of our housing vouchers in my particular state are shut down for now. Unless you already have it, you ain't getting it. So you better not get evicted on that, because if you lose that, you are not getting it again. Okay? But anyway, that was the reading, y'all. That was the resources. Again, read the description box below. Check me out if you're interested in the meet and greet on Saturday, 9:30 p.m. And we will link up. All right. Peace, y'all.